Chapter 9 Weekends would have been the most peaceful moments for my mind to rest, had it not been for the loneliness that always settled over the house the moment Naka left. There were always chores waiting for me, mopping the floor, washing dishes, scrubbing clothes, arranging the furniture, but they were never enough to distract me for long. The silence always returned. Even when Naka told me to spend the rest of the day watching television, nothing about it felt enjoyable. The house remained empty. Back in the village, at least I had Cootie's company. Oops, not Cootie again. I hate those memories. I whispered the words to myself as I closed my eyes. Leaning against the sofa, I reached for the remote control, but even that seemed meaningless. My eyes drifted toward the wall clock. It had just struck noon. 2 hours from now, I'll eat the lunch Naka left for me, I murmured. Perhaps I was simply tired. After all the chores that Saturday usually demanded, nothing tasted sweeter than a quiet rest. Before long, sleep carried me away. Then I saw him, Father. His figure appeared blurred at first, but the closer I moved, the clearer he became. He stood beside our house back in Malibu, dressed in the same clothes he had worn on the day I last saw him alive. A lantern hung from his right hand. Its trembling light seemed to be calling me toward him. Slowly, I walked closer. In his other hand he held the paraffin container. He raised it toward me and spoke softly. Namu. You never brought the paraffin home, did you? Then he coughed. A thin line of blood trickled from his nose. Father, I'm sorry. My voice broke into tears. I shouldn't have listened to Cootie. He stepped closer. The lantern burned brighter with every step. Then suddenly he stood on the opposite side of me, holding only a cracked bottle of paraffin that leaked onto the ground. His face hardened. His voice echoed through the darkness. Taste it? The words grew louder. Taste it. Taste it. Suddenly he forced the bottle toward my mouth and paraffin poured over my lips. I screamed. The bitter taste burned through me until my whole body shook violently. Then another voice broke through the nightmare. Namu, wake up! The voice seemed to fall from the clouds. My eyes flew open. It had only been a dream. Standing before me was my elder sister, Naki. She wore a modest pink dress and her small clutch bag rested on the sofa nearby. I struggled to sit upright. My head still felt unusually heavy. Here, Naki said gently. Drink some water? She handed me a glass of cold water before sitting beside me in silence. Several moments passed, then she spoke. You must have had a terrible dream. You were screaming in your sleep. Really? I managed a weak smile. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to frighten you. She shook her head. You don't have to apologize. We've all had bad dreams since Father passed away. The room fell silent again. Then she looked at me carefully. Would you mind telling me what you saw? I hesitated. How could I possibly explain such a frightening dream? Fortunately, she seemed to understand. She smiled softly and withdrew the question. Don't trouble yourself over it, she said. Dreams often lie. She carried the empty glass away before returning to the sofa. Her eyes remained fixed on me. Only then did another question occur to me. How had she entered the house? And why had she come today? Since arriving in the city, she had never once visited us. Why now? As though reading my thoughts, she smiled. The next time you fall asleep, remember to lock the door. Then she leaned closer and lowered her voice. Who knows what Naka's clients might do to a 10-year-old girl left alone? The words settled heavily inside me. Naka's clients? What could they possibly do to me? Before I could ask another question, the front door swung open. Naka stepped inside. The sharpness in her eyes filled the room immediately. Naki, she demanded, what are you trying to tell Namu? Can't you see she's too young for that? Fear spread through me. Everything suddenly felt rushed and unfamiliar. Naka had returned much earlier than usual, and Naki's unexpected visit no longer seemed ordinary. Is this why you came here? Naka asked again. Naki rose from the sofa and slowly looked Naka up and down. Naka's black dress fit tightly against her body, drawing a faint, sarcastic smile across Naki's face. I didn't come here to fight, Naki replied calmly. I only came to tell you something. Then say it and leave my house, Naka answered coldly. You've always said this place wasn't worth visiting. Naki folded her arms. I'll say it. She glanced briefly toward me before turning back to Naka. But first, I'm worried about Namu. She needs to study. I hope you haven't dragged her into whatever you're involved in. The room became quiet. Naka looked toward me. Go outside. Her voice allowed no argument. I stepped out and the door closed behind me, but curiosity refused to leave. I pressed my ear gently against the door. Inside, their voices rose. Why do you keep bringing this up? Naka demanded. You know why, Naki replied firmly. I can't stand by while my little sister survives on junk food while you continue with your cursed job. This isn't about my job, Naka shot back. It's about your marriage. Every time your marriage falls apart, you come here looking for someone to blame. Naki laughed bitterly. Really? You don't even feel ashamed? You've hidden your secret from the family for years. I still can't believe my own elder sister became a prostitute. A loud slap echoed through the apartment. Get out of my house, Naka shouted. If that's why you came here, you'll regret this day. Naki's voice remained steady. I hope we both regret it. She paused. My husband is a police officer. He reopened father's case, and after a thorough investigation, silence filled the room. Then her final words cut through the walls. Mr. Keiyasu, the man you believed murdered father may be completely innocent.